Alright, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the build of our bat van. So I've got a little bit done since the last time you tuned in, and I'll give you a shot of that. But today what we're going to start on is the passenger side cabinet. So we're going to fire up the CNC and get some things done. So let me show you what I did since the last time you saw me, and then we'll get this thing going. Alright, so on the driver's side I went ahead and completed the wheel well, and I just made some I just made a frame around it and then panels, some plywood to go over top of that. You should see some pictures somewhere over here and showing you what I did. And on this side, if you haven't seen it already on a sneak peek, we do have an over-the-well water tank. It's a 28-gallon, and it's going to fit over this wheel well right up against the wall. So that takes care of that side. Don't need a wheel well for that. And alright, well, let me show you how we plan on doing the cabinets. Alright, just so you know, I think a cold front has finally moved in, and we got down to 102 today. It's still a bit warm. Alright, so for our cabinetry, the first thing I did is I created a cardboard template to fit in our spot here. Make sure I got it the right way. Alright, so I made a cardboard template and fit it how I need it to be. Actually, it goes this way. Yeah. That way it covers the seam on the top here. And then I transferred that to a piece of plywood, of which I put all sorts of measurements on there. And once I got the measurements on, I went into my 3D CAD and drew it up. From there we went to Carbide Create, put it in there, and created a tool path. And now we're getting ready to put it in Carbide Motion and start cutting these out. We're going to have 4 of these ribs, and then when we're done we'll have 3 openings for our cabinetry. So let's get these things cut. Now before we fire this up, I thought I'd show you something else I made. I made myself some right angle clamps that when I put the ribs up and I can put in my horizontals, I can get everything clamped in place 90 degrees before we actually fasten things down. And I made a whole stack of them just because, well, it was kind of fun to do. I didn't get a shot of that, but they're pretty easy, and I think they're going to work pretty good. So let's go ahead and get things loaded up, and we'll start cutting the ribs for our cabinets. Alright, like I said, I put this in my CAD program, and then I exported that as a DXF file, imported that into Carbide Create, and then created my toolpath. So now we're going to set up and get ready to run one of these and see how well we do. Now, I did have a little sweepy thing on here with brushes on it, and if you're not careful and have this tight, that can come loose, come down, and swirl around like a cowboy riding a bull. And so I splattered that in a million pieces all over the garage somewhere. Good thing I had an extra one here without the brush. And lesson learned. So let me show you how we're going to set this up, and we'll cut our first piece. Alright, so I've outlined where my piece is going to go. Our cabinet's going to be about 14 inches wide, and I've got a piece of plywood here. It's 16 inches by 16 inches. And so we're going to go ahead and just use some 3M blue tape 2 inches wide. We're going to put 3 strips, just like so. And then we're going to actually do the same here on our piece of plywood, just like that. And then we're going to put some double-sided tape on our tape here, and that'll just keep things from moving around when the CNC decides to start cutting. We'll go ahead and press that down nice and tight, and then we'll peel off the backing, just like that. We'll line up our marks here. We'll press things down in place. Alright, now we're ready to set up the program and start cutting. Alright, so we have the vacuum attachment connected, and I'm going to turn on the router and start the program. So to to help you not listen to the router, we're just going to play a little bit of music while this is going on, and we'll probably do a little fast pace, so wait for the end. Alright, let's see how well it fits. Alright, just real quick, setting on our template, we have a 1/4 inch gap right here on the bottom, which is going to be the bottom of our cabinet. Everything else seems to be lining up real nice. We have a 3/4 inch gap here on the front, which is the face of our cabinet. Once we do our face frame, we'll attach to the front. So the cut was a success. Now let's just set it up in the van and see if it fits. Alright, so we now have 4 ribs here cut for our cabinet, and I started putting things together, got my sticks cut. So let me show you what I did there and how I'm going to assemble this thing. So here's the framework going in place, and you saw my little 90-degree right angles here. So I've just got things temporarily in place, and so what I'm going to do is go ahead and fasten all of my sticks here, and then once I get them fastened and all the ribs in place, then we'll take everything apart one at a time and get them glued and then screwed back in place. So that's where we're at. So let me continue on. I'll give you another shot once I get the other ribs in, and then we'll get things glued up. Alright, so here is the Carcass without the face frame on the front, and everything is just screwed at the moment. And then, like I said, one by one we'll take each stick off, put the glue on, and then fasten everything back down. So the next thing to do is to test it, see if it fits. It'd be a crying shame if it doesn't. All right, let me manhandle that in there and see if that works. All right, now I'm going to bring that in and set it up here, and hopefully everything touches and sits where it should be. It's definitely going to be a two-man job when I get ready to install it, but I just want to make sure that it actually fits before I finish it out. So let me go ahead and grab a hold of that and see if it fits. Hang tight. I'm going to tell you what, it's 100 degrees out here. Feels a little cooler in the van only because there's a little breeze, but man, this is zapping the energy out of me. So let's go get it done. I think it's going to work. Alright. Well, now we can finish it out. Alright, so here's where we're at. I went ahead and put the bottom on, and I drilled for my lights and stapled everything down. And on the inside, obviously this is the face, so I'll be putting some more supports in here and running my wire through to the end, and then making some false bottoms for the floor here, 1/4 inch, and that way I can get to my lights, access all that. There are a couple of reading lights that I do want to install also on each side, so that'll make it pretty easy. Alright, well, that's out of the way. Let's see, what's next? Yeah, making all my supports, get those installed, and then we'll have to finish it out. And I'm not sure if I want to paint the inside or do some sort of polyurethane. I'll probably just polyurethane. I don't know. We'll see. Just hang in there. See what I come up with. Alright, keeping up with the progress, let me show you what I've done. So I made these pieces that go this way, and I put a hole, about a 3/8 inch hole on the on each one. It'll be on the back side here, so the wires will come out here in the back, and I can run those right down and under the bed and over onto the other side where the power is going to be. So I put those on each one, the center for the ribs, and then on the back side. So by the door I'll probably have some more power that runs across this way, so I can run my power through my cabinets and reach across over the door in case I want to put some lights or something. I'm not sure what. Okay, so my next step is I'm going to go ahead and make the false bottoms, and I'll get those prepared, and I think I'm going to go ahead and carpet those just like I did the walls, and put a little finger pull here so that way I can access the bottom and be able to hide some papers or wallets or phones or something in there if I need to. And then we'll put the face on. And well, before the face, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and finish the inside. Actually, I will put the face on first. Man, I'm undecided here. I'll put the face on, and then we'll finish the inside. We'll put some Varathane or something on the inside, sand it, make it nice and pretty, get all the horizontals here nice and sanded. That way when we put it up and open it up, it'll look nice inside. Alright, so the next shot that you'll see we'll have the false bottoms on, and then we'll put the face on, and then we'll sand everything, and then we'll get everything varathane, and then we're going to do something on the outside of this thing to make it look good for the rest of the van. So that's where we're at, and it's going to fit up there really nice and neat. And once I finish this side, then we'll do the other side. But let's get this side done first. Alright, so that's where we're at and what I'm doing. So hang in there. Before you know it, we'll have a cabinet in place. Alright, so we're going to get ready to start on the face frame. I've got my sticks in place and clamped, marked where I need to get things cut. And now we'll go ahead and remove the clamps, get our sticks cut, put back in place, glued, and staple these on, and then we'll put our center pieces in here for the finish of the face. Then I think we can sand everything down and get some polyurethane on it. So let's get these sticks cut, get everything installed. Alright, so here's the finished build on the cabinet itself. All that's remaining is now the finish work. And I think it turned out pretty good. Yep. So each one of these shelves will lift out. We'll get those covered, put in there. It should fit nice and tight like. Yeah. Cool. I'm kind of liking that. Alright. Alright, so all that's left for me is to go ahead and sand this thing down, get some polyurethane on it, and then the next time you see this, it should look totally different. We'll get it all finished out, cover the outsides, and we'll probably worry about the doors last. We'll go ahead and get the bottoms here carpeted and get ready to install. And then we'll be able to put it in the van as the first cabinet in the van. So I think that's going to look pretty cool. So I'm waiting for some stuff to arrive in the mail before I can totally finish this out. So that's the holdup. Alright, that's where we're at. I've got another one, two more actually to build. One's going to be identical to this on the other side, and then a small one up on the front behind the driver's side seat. So that's where we're at, and I hope you stay tuned. See what it turns out like. Come back. Thanks for watching.